Yeah. KZ4 Bravo testing.
Okay, it's time for the old friends. This is N4LQ calling CQ, the old friends net. The old friends net is an AM industry modulated only net. We meet here on Sunday, Thursday, and Tuesday. Thursday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Sunday at 6:30 p.m. The net is carried out in the old-fashioned round table method, where we take a list of check-ins, put them in order. We give you that list, and you can take your turn making comments. We are interested in hearing about your rig, what you're running, and what you would like to buy or looking for, or what you would like to sell. So with that, we'll go ahead and start the check-in. This is N4LQ. Call now.
Command Steve, WA4 LLR.
I had a double there with Mark. Who's the other station?
WA4 FJQ, Tom.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
WF2, your whiskey, uniform.
KZ4 Bravo.
Kilowatt 4, Victor Whiskey Delta.
WB4 NKL.
K1BVC. November 4, Alpha Kilo N4 AK. WN4 PFI.
W4 MEC.
Okay, here's the list I've got. Let me know if there's any fills. The WA4 LFR was first, and then KC4IUQ. That's Mark and Shelby. KC4IUQ. WA4FJQ. WF2U. KZ4B. That's KZ4 Bravo. And K4VWD. WB4NKL. K1BVC. N4AK. WN4PFI. And W4MC. Do we have any more check-ins? Call now.
K4YEV.
All right, got you there, Al. KJ4YEV. More check-ins? Okay, so we'll start out by saying that the weather here is a little bit warm, 82 degrees. It's a little warmer than what the weatherman said. A little cooler on me. The weatherman was saying 93 and my thermometer said 84. So I don't know what's going on. Must be the lake effect. But it's sunny and I don't think there's any storms predicted, and the static level is low. The propagation is great, and we're ready for a great bed here. I am running the Amico T6, driving the AL 1200, and this horizontal loop, and P104 mic with no funny stuff in between. So Dave, go ahead. WA4LLR, go ahead.
All right, Steve. N4LQ and group WA4LLR. Well, good afternoon to everybody. Jumping everybody 100%. A little bit of QRN, but not too severe thus far. Looks like the storms are out mid Tennessee and moving this way. We've got about 77, 78 degrees and partly cloudy up here. A nice day. Good church service this morning, and good to be on board with all the old friends. TX86 sounds good as usual. Steve, I'm running, of course, the regular BC610C and receiving on the BC342N. So we'll send it on down to Mark. Yeah. KG4IUQ, WA4LLR.
Thank you very much, Dave. This is KG4IUQ, Mark and Shelby. I'm using the ALMAC AF68 with the PMR8 receiver. It's been a bad day. Went to church this morning with my wife. Noticed the dude has been off work for a couple of days. I'm going to send it on over to, I believe it's Tom, WA4JQ.
KG4IUQ, this is WA4FJQ. Okay, thanks, Mark. Nothing going on here. I got busy this afternoon and moved a combo choke up off the ground and mounted it right behind where the rig sits, and now I got RFI everywhere. So if you hear me yell because of mic burn, you know what happened. So obviously I've got to get back out there and move the thing around. But anyway, nothing going on here. We're just hoping for some rain. Copying everybody just fine. QRN's not too bad. So we'll turn it over to, I think, Mir is next. WF2U, WA4FJQ.
Roger, Tom. WA4 FJQ. This is WF2U, Landrum, South Carolina. And good signals this afternoon. Tom, you were about 15 over S9. And so far I have a few reports. Later on I'll give the rest at the end of the round. I'll record them. Steve, you are 20 over 9. Dave, 5 and 9. Sometimes a couple of dB above it. Mark, the carrier is 8 to 9, but the audio is very, very barely understandable. Obviously, something is not working right there. And I'm running the old Yaesu Twins, the FR101 receiver, and the matching transmitter, which is driving the FL2100B amplifier for just about 300 watts peak output with modulation. And the antenna is an 80 meter end fed on the other side of the house, not by the shack, because right now I don't have anything here that feeds the shack directly for 80 meters. And so I had to patch it to it with another piece of cable. But anyway, so it's on the other side of the house. Probably on the high side, it's about 40, 50 feet almost up of the tree. And the house is hooked up to something suspended from the heat of the roof. So that's working conditions here. So John gave us the 30% WRC.
KZ4B, you can go ahead. Hey, John, KZ4B, are you with us?
Roger, N4LQ is WFQ. This is KZ4 Bravo. There's a better signal than usual today, but a tremendous amount of QS Baker, and he had dropped out at the end of his transmission. Turning it over. This here, we did not get the variable handbook last weekend. Had a good time. Few notation. The attendance was not as good as it was. The weather was excellent. We were lucky enough to be in an air-conditioned building. That was the good news. But the bad news was that it was kind of off the beaten path. We didn't get the foot traffic from the flea market that we would have had we been at the flea market. Consequently, we did not sell much. In fact, we noticed we made one quick pass through the flea market and came up with the observation that nobody was selling much during years past. I could be wrong about that, but that was my observation. I bought two relatively small items and sold absolutely nothing, and I tried hard and think I had my stuff priced right. So it's all going to go to Berry, to Huntsville, and so this coming weekend we will be in Huntsville, Alabama, and we'll try to sell the stuff that we did not get sold at Berryville. But we did have a good time. We always enjoy the socializing aspect, even if we don't want to sell a tremendous amount of stuff. So that's the word from here. Lee, take it away. K4 BWD in the group, KZ4 Bravo over.
Okay, John, this is K4BWD. Well, I'm not copying you. I can tell you, and I can tell you turned it over to me, but I got some extra noise, so that's the problem. It's 90 degrees here at my house, and the sun is shining, and I'm enjoying listening to everybody here today. So Cliff, here she comes. K4NQL. This is K4VW.
K4VWD, WB4NKL. Thank you, Lee. Got a good copy on everybody. I've got some QRN. I guess that's the storms out west over here. But everybody's coming up over them so far. About 82 degrees here, and we're calling for more rain tomorrow, which we don't need. We're talking about flooding maybe if it comes as hard as they say it might. So we'll see what happens. I'll send it on around. Go ahead, John. K1 VVC WV4 and KL.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Cliff. And it's a little warm here. 91 degrees here also. But good to hear everybody on today. And copying everybody. Okay, John, KZ4B is a week. But on the other hand, Mira's got a really strong signal. You might mention whether you've got your antenna fixed because you're coming in so much better here today. Nothing too much to report. I'm also planning to go up to Huntsville next weekend
and so I'll probably see a lot of friends up there. Looking forward to that. It's always a nice event, particularly because all indoors in a air-conditioned building. Oh, with that, nothing much to report. Clint, how are you doing? N4AK, K1VVC.
Okay, John. K1VVC, November 4, Alpha Kilo. Yeah, there's a little bit of QRN here at my location, and John, I was struggling to copy you the first part of the transmission, but at the end you gave up. So I guess that's just the way it is. Temperature over here at Sunset is still 88 degrees. The official forecast says partly cloudy. But I think if you want to be in the shade, you're going to have to be under a tree. It looks like the sun was shining pretty well a while ago. So I'm playing the game this afternoon. I'm running a Johnson 500, a real boat anchor, NC-183 Delta receiver, and I'm on the Cobra antenna. I think it's about 135 feet long, something like that. 3 strands of wire running together. So, Doak, down to you in North Georgia, WN4PFI, November 4th, Alpha Kilo.
Okay, Glenn, N4AK, this is WN4 PFI. Stand by. Okay, had to change the meter here. Got a lot of static here today. I just got through looking at the weather map, and as the crow flies, we're probably only about 30 miles from the Tennessee line, and there are storms up in Tennessee. It's moving this way, but apparently we're already picking up some of those static pressure here. It's high 70s here today. Been getting down in the low 60s at night. I did have one night a few nights ago that well, in the mornings where it was about 58 or 59 degrees. Looking forward to some fall weather and maybe a little better conditions. I'm copying I think I'm copying everybody. Steve, you and Lee, you have an extremely strong signal here today, as does Glenn. And Charlie, when I picked you up on the when you first came on. So Charlie, on to you, W4MEC. This is WN4 PFI.
Well, real good. WN4 PFI in the group. Give me a second. W4MEC is flying a little sooner because it's way out for some reason. Here it goes. Click, that might help. Here we go. Yeah, do that again. WN4 PFI in the group, W4MEC. Oh, my tune, that center was way out in left field. Maybe from the rain. I never seen it quite that far out. I went outside to make sure my antenna didn't fall down. Anyway, got good signals on everybody this afternoon. No problem copying anybody. I missed Mark's transmission, checking my antenna so I can give him a report like Mirror did. It's about 82 degrees here, partly cloudy. And yesterday we got a big storm come through, high winds and rain. And but it didn't take out the power and nothing fell down. But up towards Mountain Home, apparently about 4 or 5 miles north of here, they took the brunt of it, and a lot of trees down and everything. It keeps passing through here, but this time we got lucky and it missed us. So. Anyway, down to Al, KJ4YEV in the group, W4MEC.
W4MEC in the group. This is KJ4YEV. Well, I bought that lot of crystals that Ryan sent the email around about, and the one I wanted the most isn't going to work out for me. There's a 3715 just got, and he had it marked 3715, but it's factory marked 3716. It's actually 3716.6. So I was hoping to be able to use it on this net, but anyway, I still got a good deal. I'm not complaining. I got about a dozen crystals. Most of them were in the CW part of the band. But they come in handy. I got about a dozen crystals for $20, so you can't argue with that.
Well, it was really good today, so I won't keep it. I'm not going to just like I'm last time. I'll talk to Steve in 4LQ. This is KJ4YED. Over.
Hey, very good. Al, are there anybody else like to check in late? Call now. Yeah, did you hear anything? Anybody got a fill or anything? Yeah, I guess not. All right. Well, copied everybody okay. Here, the longer you talked about your antenna, the weaker you got. I don't know what happened. I think you about talked your antenna off the air or something, but you were really strong at first. But I guess the band was changing. And let's see, somebody was asking about it, but the way I understand it, his old antenna sort of fell down a little bit, and he has switched over to an infed half wave, which is uh, not too close to the shack, and he had to run some extra coax. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Uh, I've been doing some carpentry work here. I've been down the basement working on the stairs. Whoever built this house put a landing down at the bottom of the stairs, the width of the stairs, and if you go left or you go right, you got to step down off that landing. So you can't get from one side of the basement to the other without stepping up, walking across, and back down. That's the craziest thing I ever saw. So I got tired of that. Went down there yesterday with a sledgehammer and saws and stuff, and got that thing out of there. And I'm actually stepped back up like it ought to be. And now I just got to figure out what to do about the carpet that wasn't underneath that landing. No way to match it, so it's going to have to be something entirely different. Uh, oh, I had trouble this morning with my Chinese electronic TR switch thing. Just totally went bonkers, and it would not respond to the Amico's command to transmit. The RF was not sensing. I took the receive antenna loose from it, and it started working. Makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, I got tired of fooling with that, drug out the old MFJ, and it works fine, but it doesn't mute the audio from the receiver. So I had to cobble together a outboard relay to open the speaker lead when I transmit, and that's working fine. So I'm gonna rebuild the whole mess. I'm gonna use a metal box. I'm gonna put some big relays on. I'm gonna run the D104 mic into it and then back out of it. Pick off the push to talk. Send that to the transmitter with a relay and put a jack on it to key the amplifier, to key the VFO, and mute the audio. And no more RF sensing that way. Just triggered by the D104. And John, sorry to hear about your lack of selling equipment there. But Huntsville may be better, or maybe you could pass along to the gang here what you're trying to sell. Somebody might save you a trip. And Cliff, too bad about the flooding tomorrow. Let's hope that doesn't get too deep. I see we have a chance of thunderstorms and about a tenth of an inch of rain predicted. But from the looks of the radar, it looks like it could be more than that. And John, hope you have a good time. Mark, IUQ, you were flipping your audio like crazy. I don't know if you got your mic gain turned up too far or you're overdriving the amplifier, one or the other. But it was okay. But when you hit voice, it was just blanking out. So you might want to turn that down or something. And Al, your crystal is it's up about a KC, about 3716. And mine is too. No, I'm not worried about it, but I am using a 3715 so-called crystal. It's a little high. So, linear 500 sounds great. Over we go again today. Let's hear the rest of the news. WA4LLR, N4LQ.
All righty. N4LQ and the group WA4LR. I'll play Paul Harvey and you'll know the rest of the story. Or no, wait, what did you say? Stand by for news. Well, I miss old Paul. Anyway, let's see. Uh, yeah, we had a storm go through here yesterday evening, and boy, there was some wind in it. Not a whole lot of rain, but some pretty stout wind, and it took a lot of trees down in the area, right here on our property. But I know it kept emergency services real busy for most of the evening. And right now, the ex-wife are planning on going to Huntsville. So John and John, we'll look for you guys down there. So hope to see you down there. Let's see what else is going on. I wonder if anybody looked for the Perseid meteor shower last night. Last night was supposed to be the peak. I went out about 11:30 for a while, but I didn't see any, and I was sleepy, so I didn't stay too long. But if you have clear skies, there should be some activity tonight, too. Current space weather, sunspot count 61, solar flux index 48, the K is 1, so magnetic field should be fairly stable. I've noticed some deep QSB occasionally, but all the signals are coming right back. A few items from this day in history. The Aztec Empire fell on this day in 1521 when Cortez captured what is now Mexico City after a 93-day siege. On this day in 1899, Alfred Hitchcock was born. On this day in 2004, Julia Child passed away. On this day, New York Yankees baseball player Mickey Mantle died at 63 in 1995. On this day, 1926, Fidel Castro was born. On this day in 1898, the U.S. Army took control of Manila during the Spanish-American War. On this day in 1860, Annie Oakley, Little Miss Sure Shot, was born. So that's a few things from this day in history. So let's see. Mark, here it comes. I hope you've got the distortion figured out. KG4IUQ, WA4LLR.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Dave. I hope I have the distortion figured out. I changed the battery in my microphone, and I adjusted the modulation here. I wonder how it's sounding now. If it's garbled up, I may not continue. I'm going to ask Steve, how am I sounding now before I continue on?
You took care of it. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Steve, I'm going to call you on the phone about the power supply check. Right now, I'm using a DDS VFO, kind of a trial situation where I have it on my boards. What I found is this Chinese VFO, I don't even know what to call it. I'd have to try to find a proper name. I don't think I have a brand name, but it doesn't have a jumper. It will allow the incremental tuning frequency change by a relay or something like that. Right now, I'm using a relay to switch the output, the coax center conductor. I'm switching that off and on. I'm switching it on when I try to spin with the relay. And I finally got the amplifier relay. I found some relays electronic components collection. Decided to look it up, and I basically found right now I want to learn more experimentation, and this VFO doesn't really seem to be quite good enough for this purpose, but I'm keep experimenting with it. I'm using a power supply, 9 volts. Kind of hard to find a power supply. I'm using an old Lenco Precision power supply. That's one of the first things I bought on Reddit years ago. And I'm going to turn it over to, who is it now? WF4FJQ Tom.
TG4IUQ and a group W4FJQ. Okay, Mark, you sound much better. All that distortion is gone. You're about S9 here, so you're doing well. Dave and Cliff really paying it here, really knocking the S meter off its pins there. The rig here is the multi-EMA LMAC 68 receiving on a column 75 S3C and feeding the LMAC signal into Collins 30 L1, putting out somewhere around 350 watts or so, someplace in that neighborhood. But other than that, not a lot to talk about. At least I'm not getting my burns from RFI, which I have to fix. So at any rate, nothing much to comment on, so I'll turn it over to Mir. And Mir, by the way, you really got a great signal up here when you first started. But like Steve was saying, you've sort of faded out there toward the end. So let's see how well you do this time. So we'll turn it over to you. So WF2U, this is WF4FJ.
Yeah, Roger. WF4FJQ and the group, this is WFU. Yeah, very good, Tom. Well, your signal is up and down also. Some, like, Glenn has a very rapid QSP, about plus minus almost 10 dB. And Steve, you started at 20 over 9, and part of this transmission you were only 10 over. So there is probably about a plus minus 10 dB variation in signals. And nothing changed here. I SWR, power output, I'm watching it. Absolutely so the same. So I noticed it on others that even in the middle of the transmission it changes. So it's conditions, I'm sure. And anyway, I have a problem with the DX100. That's why I'm not using it now. All of a sudden, the high voltage is not coming up. I have to see whether it's a blown fuse or it has another problem. But all of a sudden just happened. And actually last week when I just before the net, and that's why I put the SGC transceiver on, because this setup was not warmed up. So that's what I'm using. So let's see some reports. Lee 10 over 9 again, plus minus. Cliff 10 over 9 with plus minus. John, you 5 and 9 also with going up sometimes 10 over. And Glenn, very rapid QSB going down to about 5.7 and Doak 10 over 9, Charlie also around 10.15 over 9, and Al 5.9 plus. So that's conditions. At least there is no static. Oh, by the way, the temperature here is 84. Actually, went down 83 degrees right now. So let's see. KZ4B. This is WFW.
group business came in 5 business meters. You came in much better that time. Um, you were, I agree with you. There's a lot of QS on the band today. No signal. And Lee, you're one on, and the band seems to be a little noisy. Not local interference, just a music band. Steve, I will elaborate on what I am saying. They're all Palstar tuners. Everyone is Palstar brand. Two of them are current production AT2KD, 2 kilo delta. And there's differential tuners. It's one knob for both capacitors and then a crank handle for the inductor. In fact, all 4 of them are differential capacitor tuners. The other 2 tuners are the predecessor to the AT2KD, the AT1500, and with the differential capacitors. And one of those is unique in that the ceramic roller inductor is wound with number 10 wire. All the other Palstar tuners use number 12 wire. But one of these, it was wound with number 10. What they sold between about 2005 and 2010. When I sent it back to the factory and it was upgraded to the latest metering in LED lighting. In fact, all 4 of them have the latest metering LED lighting. And the other one is slightly different in that it's also the same nomenclature of 1500 with a differential capacitor, but instead of it's only wound with number 12 wire, KD, the later model, but it also has a toroid in it which to give broader coverage of 160 meters. A push button that operates a relay that switches the toroid. It's a very large mini turns toroid to give plenty of inductance for tuning 160 meters. So 2 of them, the AT2KDs are the same, and everything's in great cosmetic shape and works great. And I'm not only an alcoholic, but a alcoholic, and I need to lighten up. I don't need all these sinners. I sort of call them experimenting, and now I'm using mostly the 998 automatic antenna. So I don't need all these tuners. So if anybody's interested, let me know. And I will be in Huntsville. I'll look forward to seeing you there, Dave. And I'm thinking Chris might go. I hope you might comment on that, Cliff. Hoping to see you there because you're probably the closest to it, to Huntsville, of most guys. It's 1 million miles from here. It cost us a fortune to drive all that way with Joe Biden's gas prices and, of course, the crazy hotel room fee. But it's a great ham fest, and we enjoy the camaraderie, and hopefully I can sell some stuff. So, and maybe see something interesting to buy as well. So I have been long-winded enough. Let's see, Lee, if you can copy me, hopefully my signal has come up and today is late. But you and I usually have the pipeline, but it's not working. So far today, it hasn't worked very well. So over to you. Let's see here. K4 VWD is the group KZ4 Bravo. Over.
Okay, John, very good. This is KZ4WD. Well, your signal is up to 20 over, so things have gotten a lot better than 100% copy that time. So I appreciate you listening to me and giving me a report. And you too, Mayor. Thank you for the signal report. And thank you, Dave, for the information on astrology and what's going on in the world. Thank you. The temperature has dropped to 89 now, and things are well here. I had one of the guys that teaches Sunday school, his wife fell yesterday, and they went to the hospital about 6 p.m. yesterday and didn't get home till 1:30 a.m. And I guess that's because it's a Saturday night at the hospital, but I'm not sure. But anyway, she's all right, but she fell and kind of messed up her face and a couple of things, but nothing serious as far as health goes, but just skin stuff. All right, well, let's see, everybody's signal was picked up that time. I didn't have any trouble with anybody. So, we'll keep it going, Cliff. Cliff, I apologize for messing up your call there. So, over to you, WB4, NKL, Indigo, K4 VWD.
K4 VWD, WB4. That's quite all right. Lee, I think you got the subject correct anyway, so that's great. I don't think I'm going to make it to Huntsville, John. It's a pretty good haul from here. It's not as far as Berryville, but I guess it's a good 4 hours to Huntsville. I'm pretty far east in East Tennessee. I guess about 150 miles from Chattanooga. So it's been several years since I've made that one, but I didn't plan on it this year. So I guess I'll wait another year or two before I make it down. I am planning on Shelby in about 3 weeks, and then the month of September is real busy. There's something, I think, every weekend except for the last weekend. Got 4 events in September. So I guess I'll stay around till then, and then I'll hit the road for a while. I hope everybody has a good time at Huntsville and find some goodies. John, I didn't try to sell at Berryville. I just went walking around the whole time and ended up probably brought more stuff home than I needed to. It was good to see you up there, and enjoyed Berryville. I always do. They didn't have the chicken, the barbecued chicken this year, and I guess that was where you were at, up in that building. So without the chicken to draw them up there, I guess you was kind of stuck out of the main path there. So I'll send it on around again. Go ahead, John. K1 VVC, WB4 NKL.
WB4 NKL in the group. I will see you at Huntsville. It is a little bit of a hike. It's about a 6-hour ride for me. There's just no easy direct highway way to get there. You go and enter, and pretty much a lot of different twists and turns to get there from Atlanta. But I'm going down Friday. If you're in Huntsville and get there Friday, I'm gonna take it. If anybody, asks, your table, I'm at table 328, 328. Just tell them he's sharing the table with me. And if you actually have anything you want to bring to sell, I'll probably have open the room on the table. So it'll be room table 328. So I'm looking forward to that. Sorry I didn't make Larry know. Had a lot more going on last weekend. And I'll comment, Mark, your signal improved really a lot when you sounded really good. So you were able to get a quick cure on your patio. Sounded good. I'm running the Johnson Viking 500 today and receiving on the HRO 6. With that, let me turn it over to Glenn. Good to hear you on also. I was going to mention to Al, if the crystal's off a little bit, it's very, very easy to, grind a crystal down a kilohertz. It's extremely easy to do that. So you want to get it right on frequency. It's easy to do. N4AK, K1 PVC.
K1 VVC and 4AK. Yeah, signals are improving. And here, first time we were around, I can barely copy, and you were 2009 the last go around, so you're absolutely correct. It's conditions. Yesterday, we had moderately high winds here in Sunset. Had a pretty heavy rain, though, for about 45 minutes. Had some small hail. That was about 5 o'clock. Then I walked around, and one of my wire antennas slipped down a little bit, so I need to tighten it up. Charlie, I don't know if you're in the market, but we swapped around some rigs before, but since I've got the extra FT991 Alpha, I don't need the TS2000. So if you're in the market for a 160 meter through 440, let me know. I can do better than I did the other time, which I don't remember what it is, but if you don't want it, somebody else may want it here. So the fellas, I still have a Valiant and an NC300. They're in pretty good shape. And it's hooked up, so if you wanted to try it, and if you wanted to sell it at a high price and sell it to you, I am pissed. I won't get mad. All right, Steve, on your PR switching project, that is always something you got to think about with these boat anchors. No question about that. And Lee, I don't know if that was Tom Jones' wife that fell. I know she had a heart attack about 3 or 4 months ago. So I don't know if that's Tom's wife or not that had an episode yesterday. So keeping things moving all around here. Down to you in such as Georgia. WN4PFI and 4AK.
4AK. This is WN4PFI. Thank you, Clayton. Yeah, you mentioned that storm yesterday. We did have one. Must have been about the same time come through. Not a lot of rain. Very, very big winds. I've not lived here. We've not seen storms like we're having now with so much wind and the damage it's doing to a lot of the trees in there. It's just a very unusual weather pattern. 2-3 months. My wife and I we've made that trip down to probably, as we found out, you can't get anywhere from such as over there to Huntsville. We've not done that in a while, and we spent the night over there, made I think a couple of day trip out of it, and had a good time there. A little more, everything being on the inside is a little unusual, and that was good during a time when it's usually very hot. And we've been still working on our tree that we primarily heat with wood.
during the winter time, and so we've been still working on that tree. I guess we're about halfway through with, we can't do a whole lot of work at one time anymore. And running a chainsaw has gotten to be kind of difficult. Some of you may have seen the email I sent out. I'm still looking for 90, 98, even the Bluetooth Deluxe. And I've finally put out all the parts I need for a modulator that I'd like to use with that particular transmitter. So if anybody has one or sees one, or has a way of letting me know that, I would appreciate it. I'm gonna get out of here. I am gonna listen to the end, but I won't say my 73 at this juncture. It's good. Everybody's signal came up. I'm copying everybody pretty as good as I've ever seen on this last go. So it's good to hear everybody on. Steve, thanks for calling the net, and hope to be around again on the next Sunday. Hope you have a good week, you all that's going over to Western trip, and we'll check with you. Down to you, Charlie, before you meet C. This is W4PFI. I'll be listening to the end. 73.
We're going to be in for PFI in the group. WS4MEC, good copy all around. Mark sounded perfect that time. And let's see. So working on Studio A here. I plan and I plan, so that's the name of the game. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that rig there, and email you guys to see what we can work out. My older son left out of here, I can't remember when, Thursday maybe? And yesterday went over to pick up his good buddy in Raleigh, and they went up to Washington, D.C. to see a double hitter. The first game that the A's lost, and they were out there today, and he came there, and he sent a picture of himself at the 7th stretch. It was pretty funny looking. He had on a fake mustache, and he looked like this, I don't know, whoever number 34 is. His buddy is a real big fan of him, and they both had that shirt on with his face on it. They had a mustache on like the guy, and they looked just like him on the shirt. So they're having a good time up there, and he's planning on coming back tonight. He'll be back around 2 o'clock. He's going to take his good friend back to Raleigh. Then he's coming over here. I hope it's a safe trip. And so we can get ready for first day of school tomorrow in this county, and Polk County too. They've kind of jumped over the North Carolina requirement to not start school until the end of August, and Polk and Buncombe have decided they needed to start 2 weeks early for reasons I don't really think make much sense. But what am I going to do about it? You know, they're sacrificing the entire school system for maybe 100 kids going to what do you call it, the pre-college stuff there. So it doesn't make much sense to me to modify the whole school system. So in 2 counties just to do that, but you know, they're the ones with the PhDs, I guess. They know best. Ha ha. So anyway, let's see. Down to Al. We got a good signal today. Al, KJ4YEV in the group. WBC.
Thank you, Charlie. Before MEC in the group, KJ4YEV here. Well, had a nice drive through the country today. We don't do that too often. Gas prices the way we did, but we went down into South Carolina, down below gas stations right there, toward the Clyde River, a little bit south, and wound up coming to the Clover. So that's a pleasure to ride. Like I said, we don't do it too often. We used to do a lot of that, but she wanted to get out a little bit this afternoon, so that's what we did. And had a good time doing it. And John, I appreciate the info on the crystal. Actually, I need to get the other way. If I was to grind it, that would raise the frequency. I mean, I'm thinking about it backwards. It seems to me that would raise it. I need to lower it. But that crystal I bought is a little bit higher than 3716. I'm not going to
using right now, this one I'm using right now, is pretty close to 15, but the one I bought is 3716.5. And I have heard of adding some pencil graphite to it to add mass to it. But I've never tried that. I've never tried grinding one either, but I appreciate it. Hearing it was quite good today, so I'll pass it back to that control. Steve, KJ4YEB.
Okay, N4LQ. Thanks, Al. Did we have somebody break there at the end?
Me too, on ABC. I wasn't thinking straight on the crystal. If you want a low frequency, that's the absolute easiest thing to do. If it's only like a kilohertz, you open it up and you take a soft lead pencil like a number 2 lead pencil, and just put some of the graphite on the crystal, put it back together. That'll normally drop it down at least a kilohertz.
Okay. Al, did you copy that information?
Sure did. I appreciate it, John. I may try that. Thank you very much, KJ4YEB.
Okay, well, that's what we're here for. John, go ahead.
I just wanted to throw in that I also have 2 pairs of HRO5 and earlier coil sets for the broadcast man. If anybody's interested, I've got everything priced to sell. One set is I'm asking $100, and the other one I'm asking $125 because cosmetically it's a little nicer. And also on those that's priced to sell. An ATK2D printer is now $795. I'm asking way less than half price for those 2, and the same goes for the others. So I'm not trying to get top dollar. I'm just trying to move them on. But everything is nice. Thank you for coming back. KSAT will be clear. But listen.
Hey, any more last minute comments or? Repeat that again, please.
N4Z, Nancy Mary 4 Zulu.
All right, Nancy Mary 4 Zulu. Yeah, Steve N4LQ, glad to have you. Please come back and give us a transmission. Tell us a little bit about NM4Z. Go ahead.
I think an S receiver from you. Some other guy had gone through it, and I just want
You bought a what receiver?
an S40 helicopters. It must have been the Waynesville Fest or somewhere. I can't remember. It's one half there. And I've got it out in my tractor shed, and I listen to it quite a bit.
A good deal. I know just what you're talking about. I remember selling it. And yeah, that's a good one. I used to hear it on the Old Friends Net a few times. So I'm glad to have you and check in anytime with us. What's your QTH?
And I just recognize it. I didn't hear you all the time. I'll let you NM4Z clear.
All right, very good. Thank you for checking in. Do we have any more last minute check-in?
What was this QTH and handle?
It's Richard, and I'm in Bryson, North Carolina.
Okay, Richard in Bryson City.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, we'll have one quick 73 round of probably want to keep them short transmissions, but I will comment first of all that Dave, your rest of the story was interesting, very interesting, and especially the part about the Aztecs versus Cortez. I need to know more about that. And Mark, you were asking what to call your Chinese VFO, and I've got it. It's called the Drifty. Okay, there's let's see, Tom, you're sounding good on that 68 with 30L1. And John's got Pal Star tuners for sale, and I guess if you send him an email, he'll probably never get it. So you probably need to call him on the phone. Maybe that would work. But he's selling Pal Star tuners and HRO5 broadcast plugins. Now those are rare, and they do go for $100 is not a bad deal. If you're interested in listening to the broadcast man on an HRO5, there you go. Um, and I'm using a 998 MFJ tuner also, John, and I love it. And let's see here, anything else? Oh, N4AK, Lynn, N4AK has a Valiant for sale and an NC300, and I'm sure he would give you a good deal on that. Doak is still looking for a Globe Chief 90, and it's going to put a modulator on it. And I will say this, I bought a Johnson Navigator, and somebody had built a modulator for it, and it came with it. I took it off, and it's an outboard unit. It plugs into the key jack, and it's a cathode modulator, and that's what it's made for. And I've got a copy of the article in QST. So, Doak, if you'd be interested in that, there you go. I think you pretty much just plug it into the to the key jack, and you're ready to go with cathode modulation. And let's see, and Al, good deal on your country drive. All right, let's go around for another trip around the old Friends Net and over the 73 round. Dave, WA4LLR, go
Steve, fine business. MQWA 4LR. Well, thanks for calling in. And let's see. Come on, big signal, really big signal up here in the Burnsville. Richard, nice to meet you. I'm Dave up in Burnsville, North Carolina, about 40 miles northeast of Asheville. Let's see here. John, I wrote down table 328 at Huntsville, so hopefully we'll look you guys up. Not much more, so I'm going to say 7-3. God bless. Everybody have a great day. Lord willing, we will look you guys up on Tuesday. So, KG4IUQ, sounding good now. WA4LR, 7-3.
Very much, Dave. This is KG4IUQ, Mark, Shelby. Thank you, Steve, for the name of the Chinese. I copy. Drifty. Thank you. And it was good going to church today. 2 miles to church. Sometimes, I value life a lot. And, I know there's a God. I don't know exactly why God kind of beyond our awareness. But I really believe in God. Appreciate this great net. A lot of enjoyment with this. I'm going to turn it over now to WA4FJQ, Tom.
KG4IUQ and the group WA4FJQ. Okay, thanks, Mark. Thanks, Steve, for calling the net. I'm going to check out. The wife just tapped on the door and said the meatloaf is getting really cold. So I've enjoyed the net. It's been I've copied everybody very well, unlike some of the previous sessions. So we'll say 73s, and we'll hopefully see you on the net next Sunday. So let's see. I'll turn it to Mir, WF2U, WA4FJQ 73s.
Yeah, Tom, WA4FJQ, this is WF2U. Well, signals went up a little bit just before the end of the round, and Tom, you were almost 20 over 9 towards the end. And Richard from Bryson City was S9 to 5 dB over 9. Anyway, not bad conditions. It's a good time because I need to eat something. I think I skipped lunch. I was busy with wiring up my Danish Marine radio and I was making, and I forgot to eat lunch, I think. Anyway, so 73, everybody, and it was nice to hear everybody. Conditions were really not bad. And thanks, Steve, for running the net. And I didn't have time to look at your live video, but a little bit later on, I'll tune you in. So 73, I want to have a nice week. Tuesday, I might be able to get on here. Thursday, I don't know. I'm not going to be out here on Wednesday a little bit later on because now I'm, as I said, I'm going to have dinner and then I have some stuff to do inside. Let's see. John, I'm not sure whether John signed. I think he did, but just in case, just pause a little bit, Lee, just in case John is still here. So, K4VWD, this is WFTU 73.
Okay, WF2. Thank you for the call, Mir. I did say something, but I thought I'd stick around just in case. Want to make sure I got it. I do. I did want to say that I think at Huntsville that we will be at the end of Robert Young's Tar Heel Designs now. It changed the name. He's the Tar Heel antenna guy with the mobile antenna. And now he's branching out into antennas to go in your attic. I'm working on one for myself. Not so much that I need it because I've got plenty of acreage, but my son acreage, and I'm really doing it to put a dipole, a screwdriver dipole in his end attic eventually. But we'll be at his booth more than likely. We'll have our own table, but we will be next to him in the commercial section. I'm pretty sure. I could have that wrong, but I think that's the case. And yeah, we're pricing our stuff to sell. And, the stuff is in great shape. What's really interesting is that one differential center that's wound with number 10 wire. That's some good heavy stuff. And Power only did that when they first, with their earliest tuners. So it's a real husky induction. And the capacitors are all the same, pretty much. And they all have the latest metering with LED lights. So everything's been upgraded. It wasn't one of the latest models to begin with. AT6AD was the latest production. So I enjoyed it today. The two reasons I don't get on during the week, one is I'm usually busy. But the other is during the day, the propagation is not as good as Sunday. I used to have a hard time when we take the minutes. It was earlier on Sunday. I could do better during the week then. But now, this is the best propagation in that. So I try to make this one I can. But of course, I'll be in coming back from Huntsville next weekend. So we will miss the net. So everybody have a great week. Thanks for calling that. and Lee Tyler Ribbons, well, I think Tyler Ribbons, he did some, K4 VWD in the group case that 14 players.
Thank you, John. K4V, this is K4 VWD. Well, Glenn, it was Tom's wife, Diane. She was at home when it happened, and she, according to Tom, she's fine. She just got split up places. It's going to take 2 or 3 weeks for it to heal. And she goes to the hospital twice a week for rehab with that heart attack. I think it's on Tuesday and Thursday. I'm not sure, but I think that's the dates that she goes to the hospital. But we miss seeing both of them at Sunday school this morning. And let's see. Thanks, Steve, for doing the net. I will. It's down to 86 here. So simply, God bless. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. And it's sure good to hear you. So, Chris, it's to come. WB4NKL.
K4VWD, WB4NKL. Well, good net. I copied everybody 100%. And Tom, if you're still listening, you got a good strong signal up here. And they have a station checking in for Bryson City. Also, good copy all the way around. And thanks for calling it, Steve. And we'll try to catch everybody by Tuesday anyway. And K1VPC, WB4NKL.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Cliff 73DO. And Steve, thanks very much for such a good job calling the net today. And enjoyed it thoroughly. It's good to be able to hear everybody with very little background noise. Glenn, over to you. N4AK, 1TV.
Okay, John. Oh, just a minute. Sorry, fellas, I had another. Anyway, Richard, nice to have you check in on this with us from Bryson City, and thank you very much for calling it in. And I'll look for your email there, Charlie. Note checked out, so W4ABC and 4AK.
Okay, Glenn, real good. N4AK and your friends. Well, good today, Steve. And good signals all around. Tom, you're blowing the door from the house there. Amazing. Good signal. Whatever you mess with it, I really got it to where you. So, let's see. I think it's still there, and I'll say we'll see you before me.
Oh, KJ4 TV. As always, enjoy the event. The Bryson City Station at NM4Z and people down here in Gastonia, North Carolina. So I'll say to you until next week. That N4AQ, the KJ.
All right, Al, thanks a lot for checking in. It's been a great net. A lot of good posters on the air. They were all good. They all sound good, like they should. So that's all, folks. Good night, and we'll see you Tuesday morning, same frequency, 9 a.m. This is 4LQ, closing the net.